Now, Scotland are 4 from 4 in a qualification campaign for the first time in their history. For more on a 2-0 win over Georgia last night, we can speak to our reporter Mark Benstead. Mark, great to see you. Before we get to the game, you're at Glen Eagles for us today. Take us through what's going on there.
Good morning. Yes, I am at Glen Eagles on what is a glorious day here. I'm here, but it is playing host to the golf day for the AR26 charity. The charity set up by the Scotland skipper Andy Robertson, and despite playing the full game for his national team last night in ridiculous conditions and getting to his bed at something like 5 a.m, he's dragged himself out of his pit to be with us here today. Andy, brilliant to have you with us. And first of all, let's talk us through the charity today and what you're seeking to do overall.
Yeah, obviously, look, we're seeking to make a difference in Scotland with kids, trying to give people a fair opportunity in terms of football and life opportunities. So, that's what we try and provide up and down the country, and obviously days like today help massively to, continue progressing that. We've been going since COVID, and the last couple of years have been amazing, and this is our first proper event. We had a ladies' lunch a couple of weeks ago, and now we've got a golf day. So it's just to help kind of raise funds to try and take it to different parts of Scotland. We're already in 10 regions with the football, and we want to make that more.
Why is it so important to you that you try and make a difference?
Yeah, look, I think for me and my wife during COVID, just like everyone, I think we had a lot of time to reflect on our life and what was going on in society as well. And I think we believed that by setting up a charity that we could make a difference. Obviously, we're very fortunate to have two amazing kids, and we looked at their life, and they're obviously very fortunate and things like that, and we know that some people aren't as fortunate as as they are, and we wanted to try and make a difference. Try to level the playing field a little bit, try and make it a wee bit more fairer, and give people opportunities. We know football and things like that can be expensive, and being able to provide that for free up and down the country for kids that maybe can't afford it, or parents that can't afford to send their kids there, then it gives them an opportunity to play football and get away from it and have fun with it, have fun with their friends. And ultimately that's what we try and do. We love seeing kids smiling on the football pitch and having fun with our coaches.
It's a brilliant initiative. It was another brilliant night for Scotland last night, albeit in unusual conditions. What was it like to be part of a game like that, played in that incredible weather?
Yeah, it was. It was different. It was a unique game. Obviously, during the warm-up, the kind of heavens opened up just before we came out, and the rain was heavy. Obviously, the pitch at Hampden didn't really hold it up at all, and obviously a huge thanks to the ground staff. The ball boys were out even with brushes, so it was a real team effort from all of them to get the game on, and we can't thank all of them enough, because without them it wouldn't have been possible. And then obviously we then had the problem that Georgia didn't want the game to go ahead and things like that, but luckily the right thing happened in the end. The pitch was in a playable condition, and more importantly for us, we managed to get the 3 points. That was the most important thing. I think we probably missed out on what would probably have been quite special scenes after full-time whistle, because all the fans, without them, every time we ran out to warm up, the cheers got louder and louder, and it was we can't thank them enough. We can't thank everyone that was involved in getting the game on, and like I said, ultimately we got the 3 points, and it's a massive start for us in the campaign.
It did get to the stage where the Georgians didn't want to come back out. The referee kept bringing the two captains together. What were those conversations like? What was your Georgian counterpart saying at those points?
Yeah, look, it's difficult. We, from a Scotland point of view, we wanted the game. I think even if it was 0-0, we still would have been adamant to get this game ahead. We didn't want to be coming back at a later date, or it might have been today or whatever like that. And it was important that the game went ahead if the pitch was playable. We got at the start, we knew that it was not safe for the players. So ultimately, the pitch wasn't safe for the players, and that's why we all agreed that we would come off and take a 20-minute break. But I think when we went back out to warm up, I think the pitch was in a condition that it could have been played on, and then I think maybe the score kind of came into it, and they wanted to maybe delay as much as they can. But it was difficult, but you have to trust UEFA at that point. UEFA wanted the game to go ahead, and they were pretty strong on that. And like I said, luckily the right thing happened, and like I said, the pitch held up. It was a bit heavy on our legs, that's for sure. It was probably the longest night of playing a football game, but we were just delighted that 90 minutes were done, and like I said, more importantly, we got the result.
4 wins out of 4, top of the group, and clear at the top of the group. Are you at a point now where you can say, boys, you know what, puff your chests out. We're going for top spot now. Just second wouldn't do. Top spot should be ours now.
Look, I think we can do that once, you know, we've got that qualified sign above our head. You know, ultimately at the start of the campaign it was qualify for the Euros. We know how special it was. You know, we qualified in a time when it was obviously COVID and fans were just starting to get back in, and we got a taster of it. And we know the Tartan Army travel so well. So, you know, that's the driving force. We want to be at a tournament where the crowds are full, the stadiums are full, and the Tartan Army can have their proper days out and things like that. And you know, that's one of the massive driving forces. Also, we knew how fun it was being a part of a big tournament. So, look, obviously we're in pole position, we're in touching distance with what we want to achieve, but you know, I think we need to qualify first. We need to know that mathematically that's us at the Euros, and then, you know, maybe we can concentrate on probably rivaling Spain. You know, Spain will probably be the ones that are going for top spot, but ultimately, as long as we're at the Euros next summer, then I'm not overly bothered.
A great international break for Scotland, also a great international break for your teammate and friend Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's thriving playing further forward. Obviously, it started since that Arsenal game. He's been moved further infield for Liverpool, now doing it internationally. Has he surprised you with how well he's taken to it?
No, Trent is Trent, and that's the biggest compliment I can pay him. He adapts to anything you ask of him. He's, you know, still relatively young, but he's got a wise head on his shoulders, and you know, I think when you're that technically gifted, you've got that much ability, you've got, you know, that much talent, that then, you know, he could play any position and he would make the most of it. And more importantly, he's got that aggression and he's got that will to succeed. And I think you've seen that in, you know, probably, you know, obviously going away with England's been tough for him. You know, over the years, probably not played as much as he wants, been left out some squads and things like that. But I think maybe they've found a position for him, and you know, now that he can play there and learn in it still, and you know, the scary thing is he'll improve in that position as well. So, you know, obviously that's from an England point of view. You know, we're more worried about the Liverpool point of view, and you know, we'll see what happens there and things like that, of what position he takes up in pre-season and things like that. But you know, from an England point of view, I think he got the credit he deserved in the last two games, and you know, hopefully that's him maybe getting a run in the team now. Your
club manager Jurgen Klopp has spoken about the rebuilding process. A lot of big servants of the club have moved on. New faces are coming in. One of those new faces, Alexis McAllister. What does it do to know you've got a World Cup winner stepping into the dressing room, and also one with a bit of Scottish heritage as well?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, I wish he came a wee bit earlier so I could convince him to play with Scotland. But look, fantastic player. We've played against him, you know, for the last 2-3 years, and obviously he's done some special stuff at Brighton, and he's obviously done a lot of special stuff at Argentina. You know, being a World Cup winner and things like that. And he's still relatively young, so a really good signing for us. You know, early on in the window, we've got that one done, and you know, obviously he'll be in for pre-season and things like that. He'll be able to settle in, and you know, I'm sure he'll be a success at this club because he's got everything. He's got all the attributes to do that, and you know, we'll try and help him as much as we can. So we look forward to seeing him. You know, we look forward to welcoming him into the changing room, and like I said, we look forward to, more importantly, seeing him in a Liverpool shirt.
And finally, talk to us about the appetite, the desire to go again this season, re-establish yourselves in amongst things for trophies. I know this season there was a frustration. Maybe you gave yourself a little bit too much to do at the early part of the campaign.
Yeah, look, the drive's there. You know, we want to put, you know, last season right. You know, last season was you know, disappointing. Of course it was. We can't hide away from that fact. So, you know, of course we'll have different goals and, you know, aims of next season. It has to be better than what we did last season. That's fact. So I think, you know, I'll probably need a week off from football. I think I need a wee week to switch off and just, you know, spend some, you know, much family time needed, and then obviously we'll start to refocus. You know, it's not a long break. Obviously the international breaks are getting kind of more into June now, and we'll probably only get about 3 weeks off, so not long, but it's important that I try and switch off mentally and physically, and then, you know, we'll start switching on slowly but surely, and then pre-season we'll just go with everything we've got. We have to do that. Obviously we missed out in Champions League, which was hugely disappointing, but we've got to go for every trophy going, and that includes the Europa League. And then, you know, next season, let's see, you know, we've got to try and be better, we've got to try and be pushing at the top again, and you know, hopefully we can do that.
Andy, really appreciate your time. Enjoy the holidays, however short they are. The thoughts there of Andy Robertson, the Scotland captain. What a guy, dragged himself out of his bed after only a couple of hours sleep to come and support his charity's efforts here today at Gleneagles.
What a man. Mark, thanks very much.